This is Creative Gouache, a step-by-step guide to exploring opaque watercolour by Ruth Wilshaw, printed by Quarry Books in 2021. I follow Ruth on YouTube. She has a fantastic channel where she does all sorts of projects. She has also a Patreon, and she is a real expert with gouache. So as soon as I found out she had a book, I had to buy it, obviously. So the contents: introduction, essential supplies, basic techniques, inspired by nature, landscapes, lettering, gouache and mixed media. And then she gives you some projects, which is a bullet journal spread, wrapping paper and gift tag, notebook cover, leaf triptych, night garden dimensional painting, butterfly case, campfire panel, celebration garland and painted jewellery dish. Then there are the templates, acknowledgements, about the author and index. So in this book she actually gives you the templates for drawing, for painting these beautiful pictures. So here's her introduction. And then her essential supplies, everything you need. So obviously the best type of gouache you can get is the designer gouache. There's lots of different brands. I think she uses Winsor & Newton. I use the cheap stuff because obviously I'm not an expert at the moment. I'm learning, so my pictures don't come out as pretty as hers, but it does work and you can get the techniques, so it's worth trying. Then she talks about the paper, the brushes, the usual materials that everyone talks about. Then alternative surfaces, which she includes wood, canvas and clay. And how to protect your gouache as well. So after you've finished your painting, how to protect it. And then she goes into basic techniques. Okay, so this book is really for beginners. Even if you follow her channel, there's so much useful information in this book. So she talks about the way that the colour changes as gouache dries. It's not like watercolour, so it does change. And it has a fast drying time, so it dries out very, very quickly. But she also tells you how you can layer it. And she gives you a troubleshooting guide. If yours doesn't come out as well as hers does, she tells you why that might be, which is very useful. And then finding the right consistency. I know she has a free course as well that you can sign up for, where she talks about this as well. So the book helps a lot, and her course is a great accompaniment to this. Painting a swatch chart, so you can test all your paints. And painting over dry gouache. So unlike watercolour, you can layer gouache and you can paint over it and do all sorts of wonderful things with it. So, and she tells you how to do all of this. And then different techniques, so stippling, brush stroke exercises, so you can test what sort of patterns you can make with your brushes. And then she goes into blending, which isn't as easy as it sounds, but it's good practice, and she explains very well step-by-step instructions. So yeah, there's plenty to try. The wet on wet blending, so again she gives you different techniques you can use. Wet on dry blending. And then she goes into colour and explains a bit about complementary, triadic, monochromatic, analogous. So she goes into all those sorts of details, which really helps as well. And pattern and colour. Now, her colours come out really vibrant, probably because she uses such good quality gouache. Mine, I tried this one. It didn't come out quite so vibrant, but you could see it. This one came out quite well. And then she goes over simple flowers and leaves. So she gives you a little basic exercise, which you follow step by step. You just do these basic outlines and you go over with a darker colour, lighter colour. And she explains all here how to do it until you get to the final result. And these are all useful in the next projects that she gives you. So inspired by nature. So we've got flowers and leaves. And it takes practice, you need to practice, but it's a great book. There's lots of different things you can do here. So this one came out very well, even with my cheap gouache. Then the different lines and strokes you can make. We've got a foxglove, which I would like to try very soon. And then the moth. So again, there are templates for all of these, flowers and insects and everything. So at the end of the book, you'll see later, there's all the templates. So if you're not very good at drawing, you can use the templates, which can be useful. Landscapes, which I know from her YouTube channel she's very good at. So she gives you some basics on how to do the background, silhouette shapes, how to paint trees and grasses. So yeah, and then she gives you a layered landscape, then a blended landscape, and she explains to you the different techniques, and the step-by-step instructions are pretty detailed. You've got 9 different steps here, so she goes into great detail. Then you've got lettering, so there's a bit for everyone here. If you're not too keen on landscapes, you've got lettering. If you're not too keen on lettering, you've got animals and trees and flowers. So yeah, there's a bit for everyone. And she explains to you how to do the painting. Again, there is a template for these letters as well. So you don't have to be able to be an expert on calligraphy or anything like that. It's all there for you. Mass letters. So you can actually take a letter and paint over it and make it into a little scene. And then gouache and mixed media. So watercolour. Again, there's a mini lesson here. Paint pens, pencils. So if you're anything like me, you've probably got loads of different mediums tucked away somewhere, coloured pencils or pens or whatever. So she gives you some ideas how you can use them all together. And then we get into the projects. A bullet journal spread, which even if you don't keep a bullet journal, this could just make a nice picture on your nature journal or whatever. So you could just do one big square rather than little ones for the journal. Wrapping paper and gift tag, always useful. Notebook covers, so if you've got any plain notebooks, you can use these. Again, there are the templates later on, so you're not on your own doing this. Leaf triptych. The Night Garden dimensional painting. This one looks an interesting project to do as well. I haven't done many of these. I'm working on the other book that I've already reviewed, but I've done some of these and they are really good. So I am slowly working my way through everything. The Campfire Project. A celebration garland. Painted jewellery dish. I mean, this is a jewellery dish, but you could just make a painting out of this and it's really pretty, so I think it would work as well. But also learn to make a clay dish with her method. Why not? Give it a go. And here we've got our templates, as I said. So you've got the flowers, you've got all the insects, the blended landscape, the girl with the deer. Here's your lettering. Trees. This is for your book covers. So yeah, you can photocopy them or scan them into your computer and make them the size that you want them for your books and your paintings. Then you've got your acknowledgements and about the author and your index, and it's 144 pages, so yeah, there's lots and lots to do in this book, and I do love these types of books anyway. So yeah, brilliant book, 5 out of 5 stars. Lots of great projects to do and well worth the money.